Hey everyone, welcome back to the range. My name is Matt, the self-proclaimed king of armor destruction. I've got an armor test today from Hudi Hoo Tactical. Someone will correct me in the comments below, hopefully the manufacturer, so I don't murder their name in the future. This is a level 3 plate, just a standard level 3. It is 100% through and through pure polyethylene or ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. It's approximately 840 thousandths thick. It is single curve. You can see there's just a single barrel curve there in the middle. It weighs 3 pounds, so very lightweight. The manufacturer provided these plates for us to test with no strings attached. If you are a first-time viewer of my channel, I am a very data-driven content creator. I try to provide some entertainment here and there via dad jokes or random bugs that I find out here. But I like to try to provide as much information to you as possible so that if you're trying to make a buying decision and you want to see how, a plate or something stacks up, that's kind of what I'm here for. Now, I'm not an NIJ lab, but I try to stick to some NIJ constants. For rifle armor, we test at 45 feet. We also test at 0 degrees. That is the worst case scenario that the armor can face. Any oblique shots or when you throw the armor on the ground and shoot it like this way, that only increases the armor's performance. We want to win, so I want to show you worst case. So in real world, you may never see that worst case, so that you know that this armor would actually do a very good job. I also use this giant clay briefcase right here. It's 16 by 16, filled with Roma Plastilina #1, donated by Chavant. This is the actual clay the NIJ uses. I'm out here backdoor, or backyard, backdoor. So I can't keep the clay at a certification temperature, so it's a representation of what backface could be. It's about 80 degrees outside today, but the clay's been sitting in the barn, so it's a little on the harder side. Since this is a level 3 plate, current NIJ 06 standards say that it only has to stop 6 rounds of M80 ball 308 7.62 NATO going at 2780 feet per second. The NIJ standards do not consider 5.56 a lesser threat. Since this is pure polyethylene, you'll see from our testing that M855 can penetrate this, but M193 should be stopped. So it's completely the reverse of steel armor, where steel can't stop M193 out of 16-inch or longer barrels when full power loads are used, but it can stop M855 and in some cases M855A1. Now the NIJ 07 standards that they have not published yet break level 3 into 2 categories called RF1 and RF2. RF1 adds 7.62 by 39 mild steel core and M193 going 3250 feet per second, and then RF2 adds all that plus M80 ball plus M855 going 3115 feet per second. Now that I've hit you with all that data, we'll reposition all of our cameras and we're going to blow some armor. We're ready to take our first shots. I'm going to shoot some 5.56 at this plate first, just so I can use it as a judgment of quality. With all my testing, I put a little spreadsheet here at the beginning with all of the rounds that I'm going to shoot at it, and then at the end I fill all the data in so you have a good clear-cut dry answer of penetration or no penetration and the velocities, so you're not having to dig through the video. So first up, I have M855A1. This is the Army's new 62 grain EPR round. Now the cool thing about this is I've loaded it to a subsonic velocity, so it's going 1130 feet per second or slower. I kind of use this as a judge for how hard the polyethylene is. Then I have M855, which is another 62 grain ball round. It has a smaller steel penetrator in it. We're going to shoot that at full velocity out of the 10.5-inch SBR, so we should see around 2500 feet per second. Likely it will penetrate. I know that there are some polyethylene plates that can stop M855, but they're over an inch thick. So this will be a good test. Then I'll bring out the full 22-inch barrel for some M193 and some Barnes TSX. We have a 10.5-inch Palmetto State Armory build. We've got a JK Armament rifle kit up front, drilled for 30 cal. Got a Trigicon MRO up top. I will try to call out these shots as I place them. After we finished all the 5.56 shots, then we'll go down and see what we did. So our M855A1 first, this will be in the upper left-hand corner. I've marked a bunch of different dots on the plate about 2 inches apart from each other. 1074 subsonic. Now our M855 should be right next to it. .2606, nice. Now we've brought out our longest barrel length for our Speed Demons. The Barnes TSX is 52 grains, all copper, and then our M193 is 55 grains with a lead core. We should see over 3,300 feet per second out of our TC Compass. This has a 1-9 twist barrel. We're using the Yankee Hill Turbo 556. A shameless plug for Silencer Shop. They make Silencer Simplified. That's where I buy a lot of my cans from. So this will be the M193 first. I will place this below the A1 shot on the left-hand side. Oops. Hard primer. Oops. I didn't actually load the bullet, sorry. All right, now M193. .3477. I love this 22-inch barrel. Totally unrealistic that someone would shoot you at 45 feet with this gun, but you know. Then this one will be right next to that same shot. .3394, not bad. All right, we got all 4 shots on our plate. Our A1, our M855 A1 SBR, and our full power M193 and TSX. Now, this may not be considered a fair hit in the NIJ's eyes. It's maybe inch and a half, but all's fair in love and war. Place those bets in the comments below. Uh-oh, Raggy, we have a penetration on the M855, which, like I said, was expected because pure polyethylene has problems with bullet construction, especially hardened steel cores. Or I shouldn't say the M855 has a hardened steel core, it has a hardened steel tip. A lot of people will say that it's mild steel, but it's actually hardened to about 49 to 52 on the C-scale Rockwell, so that's considered hardened. The M193 and the TSX, the M193 left a sizable bump there, but not too bad. There's our dimples in the clay. I've got another special threat with our 308 before we step up to the M80 ball. This is a 115 grain solid copper load from Fort Scott Munitions, but again, it's going at subsonic velocities. Then we have some Poonsang M80 ball. This is a lead core with a bimetal jacket, 145 to 150 grains, somewhere in there, 2750 plus feet per second. We're going to use a TC Compass with a 22-inch barrel for that. We've got our CZ 557 here. This is a 16-inch barrel, heavy 1 in 10 twists, got the JK Armament rifle kit on there. Very nice suppressor. So we'll take a shot with this little copper guy here first. Like I said, with polyethylene, there's certain bullet constructions that are able to penetrate it, and sometimes it's really interesting that a bullet at a certain velocity may not penetrate, but then you slow it down to subsonic, and because it doesn't have all of that velocity to deform the bullet, it actually can penetrate. Sorry, nerding out with the old science there. I'm going to place this one hopefully right below the M193 shot. We should be about 2 inches low at this close with this load. Oh, we were a little supersonic by about 40 feet per second there. All right, now we're going to go for our maximum velocity from our M80 ball. I changed up the camera angles in this video. I always appreciate any positive or constructive criticism about the different camera angles. So if you don't like them, let me know, and we can always change them back to more of the side view with the different camera angles. This is where we're going to see more back face in the clay. This is a good full power load that I like to use for testing armor. So this will be right next to that solid copper load, right in the line. A little low there for our velocity. right. And then this last one. There we go. We met spec there. I'm not sure what the variance is on M80 ball. Let's go see what we did and look at that back face. Got our ducks in a row here. Here was our 115 grain Fort Scott munitions. M80 ball number 1, 2, and 3. These were definitely fair hits. That's about 3 inches there. This one, that's about 2 inches, but it is closer to the edge. Now with polyethylene, it's through and through, edge to edge. So there's no foam out here. So this polyethylene extends all the way out to the edge. You just risk more of a weird, obscure bullet angle when you get towards the edge. Place those butts in the comments below. The mosquitoes are starting to come out. Need me some more of that lovely DEET to cover myself in. Yummy. Not really. Should be able to move this one out of the way. Ho! No pass-through, I think. There's a lot of going on back here. Nope. I don't see any pass-throughs. Now, that last shot there, it looks like we've actually started to delaminate the layers here. You can see that it's bunched up and pushed quite a ways in there. I brought the old depth gauge down here. Now, this is really not scientific, but I just kind of jam this sucker in there. 56 millimeters. That's pretty in there. Now, when this clay is warmer, it will squish and mold easier. So in an N.I.J. test, you could see more backface than that. Although, like I said, those two shots were really close to each other, and not at least, no, it's about 2 inches from the edge. In an N.I.J. test, they may not consider that a fair hit. Since polyethylene pretty much has a limited threat profile that you can shoot against it, at least out here at the range, this would probably take 9mm and any pistol calibers without any problem. You know, you get up to the big Magnum calibers and you're going to see more backface. But at the end of all my videos, we do a teardown here and not have to actually print a retraction. Our M855A1 shot, I didn't think actually made it through, but there is the tip that actually made it through into the clay. We likely didn't see anything because it was close to that shot, but it did make it through. With a pure polyethylene plate, there's not a whole lot to write home about. You can see all the different layers. It looks like they could use some better pressing, because it looks like these are coming apart in sections. I don't know if they're pressed in certain sections and then pressed together on top of it, but you can see the different layers there. There's that huge back face from that side through 8 shot. I would say it's a pretty good pure polyethylene plate. I don't know how much use a pure polyethylene plate has in the United States, since M855 is very prevalent. But if you live on a coastline or near large bodies of water and you need to be as light as possible and have, you know, neutrally buoyant or buoyant armor panels, these would definitely do the job, but M855 would still be a concern. I peeled away some of the layers, and that M80 ball shot that produced the most backface made it the furthest through the panel. It's about, you know, a little over 50, maybe 60% of the way through. But most of the other shots were stopped in quite a few of the different layers well before that. There's the M193 and our TSX. There's some more of the M80. That Fort Scott munitions round didn't even make it through the first half of the plate. It's somewhere still in this part that I can't get out. So that one's kind of a failure for trying to use for subsonic armor penetration. I would say, given our testing parameters of what a 100% pure polyethylene plate is capable of, this plate from Hudi Tactical in level 3 didn't do too bad. It's pretty much a level 3 plate that's designed to stop M80 ball. Backface wise, probably close to the limit, but we're able to stop M193, the M855 though, and even our M855A1 at subsonic velocities still are a problem for that through and through construction, mainly because of those hardened penetrators. Personally, I feel the weight savings by this plate is not warranted enough for a purchase inside the continental United States, mainly because of the prevalence of M855. Now, just because I don't feel this is a good buy for the threats that I personally may think I would encounter where I live, if you live along the shorelines or even in a different country, this may meet your mission needs. I personally am going to stick to probably an RF2 or level 4 plate. As I close out all of my videos, I take a moment to thank all those who help make these possible. Number one is my Patreon supporters. Number two is Hudi Tactical, who in full transparency provided us with panels for us to demo for them. And of course, number three is you all for watching. Until next time, I'll catch you at the range.